All right, there's the Harleys. Okay, I'm looking at them like, look at this. This is a 1936 Harley VLD with a Goulding sidecar. So he loves these Goulding sidecars, man.
Yeah.
Harley made a VLH, which was an 80-inch, and the VLD was a 74-inch, but it was considered high performance. Hotter cams and ported cylinders. This is a pretty rare bike. This is a 36. It was the last year of the VL. When they were making this bike, they were making the 36 knucklehead. Changed everything for them. This is a beautiful bike. So this is, again, same thing, rider's restoration.
Yeah.
I can see it's missing the toolbox. It's got the right headlight. It's got the right spotlights. It's got the earlier spotlights on it. It's got the right amp meter. This is an accessory Speedo. Look at these caps on here, man. Maybe he made these, I don't know.
He could have.
Got a later air cleaner on it. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. This is a desirable bike as well. I mean, a JD is a desirable bike. From 1921 to 1929, Harley made the JD. This is a 24. This is a pivotal year because this is the last year of the loop frame and it's the first year of the big port motor. God, his paint job, man, is, you ever heard of Earl Scheib?
Yeah.
It's an Earl Scheib, man. So this sidecar, this frame was really rough. It's super pitted.
Oh, yeah.
You know, look at that, man. What are you guys thinking about doing with these?
We're gonna have to sell them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To find one of these bikes would be incredible. But there's 5 bikes here. 5. Woo!
Yeah.
I love it when Mike buys motorcycles. I encourage Mike to buy motorcycles because they bring in a good amount of revenue and they never sit around. Someone's always wanting to buy a bike.
So these have probably been sitting 20 years too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see.
I would say at least.
Yeah, it's tough, you know, without hearing these things run. That's
Right.
the biggest thing. Here's what I know. There's 5 bikes here that haven't ran in 20 years. I can look at the quality of the restoration. Then I'm looking at all the incorrect parts that are on most of the bikes. Okay, that's the stuff that I can see. What I can't see or hear is the bikes running, feel the bikes shifting, riding the bikes. And that's where I'm just kind of in my mind trying to figure all this out because to be honest with you, I love all of the bikes. I love the 24 JD, the 36 VL, the 4-cylinder, the 37 Chief, the 34 Chief. They're all incredible bikes. This is one man's life. This is his hard work. He's had his hands on every single one of these bikes. And so I'm trying to navigate which one I want to buy. And that's hard because each one of them have something really special going on in my mind as far as like the year and the type of bike. All of this is overwhelming. It's like I need a moment to kind of just step back, look around at some other stuff and decide what I want to do here. You know, I'm looking at everything here and it's like, my thoughts are just with these bikes.
So Liz, this lion sign right here I'm really interested in. It's pretty ravaged,
Right.
but it's porcelain. I know there's different versions of this lion sign. This one's pretty rare. Is it double-sided?
I
Do you know?
don't know.
Is this one you want to sell?
Sure.
I think we can
Yeah,
do that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking $3 grand. I'm taking a little bit of a risk because I can't see the other side of it. But I don't see this sign very often, so I know for sure if I've got it in the shop, someone's gonna come in and buy it.
Could we do like 32?
You know what, actually, this bird cage back here, I've been eyeing this since we've been in here. Look how cool that is.
That is cool.
It says these birds were caught stealing gas and replaced with lively AC spark plugs. So how about if we do these 2 for 34?
I think that's fair.
Yes, all right. I know that this piece will sell in the shop because we bought one before and it sold like that.
Let's see what this looks like inside here. There are some significant bikes here. That is clean, man. That's what I understand the most, and that's what I'm hoping to leave here with. It also depends on how they run.
Right.
You know, every one of these bikes has value if it runs right, it shifts right. To rebuild a 4-cylinder engine is a minimum of 25 grand.
Right.
I mean, in my head was just spinning as far as like, you know, the what ifs and everything and the incorrect parts and trying to straighten things out. And I mean, after looking over everything and just kind of assessing, you know, what the bikes are gonna need to get them running, looking at the type of restoration that's on the bike, what's incorrect parts-wise and what's correct parts-wise. Even the smallest thing like this sidecar frame being as broken and pitted as it is, I mean, it all affects the number.
Right.
After looking at the bikes and crawling around them and just trying to decide on which one I want to walk away with, it's like, I don't want to leave any of them behind. I'm
Right.
thinking about all the bikes. That's the 4-cylinder in the house, that's the 36, that's the 24, and the 37 and the 34 Chiefs. There's 5 bikes here, which is 5 times the issues, but also 5 times the opportunity. I'd pay $135,000 for all of them.
$135,000. When I heard the number, it stuck right here in my throat.
That's where I want to throw my hat in the ring.
Okay.
That's all 5 bikes that we've looked at. $135,000 for 5 bikes is 27 grand a piece. Are some worth more? Man, I hope so. It depends on how they run. But that's where I felt I needed to be with the quality of the restoration, the incorrect parts, and just the fact that I have no idea how all of this stuff is gonna pan out when it comes to getting this stuff running. I've got a friend that owns a museum in Maggie Valley, North Carolina. He's worked on a lot of bikes for us in the past, and I would love to get these up there and get his hands on these with his help. I think we can get them running and put them back on the road. Each one is gonna be a journey, whether it's tires or cleaning the fuel tank or finding the right part or making the bike shift, whatever it is. There's so many different things that could happen with one of these bikes. The linchpin is how they are mechanically. That is the deciding factor on the real value.
Think we could have a minute to maybe discuss it, maybe?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
My dad's handprints are all over those.
Yeah.
And he spent a lot of time with them, and he was very proud of them.
We can't hold on to everything. The opportunity is here, and
Over and over again in my mind, I have imagined this situation with my daughter, Charlie. I think every collector does. You know, once you start acquiring so much stuff, that's even overwhelming to me sometimes when I think about all the parts and all the bikes and all that stuff that I've worked so hard to collect over all of these years. If something was to happen to me, how would Charlie navigate that, you know? So I can empathize with what Elizabeth is going through. So have you guys thought about it at all? Where you're gonna be on them or where you wanna be on them?
yeah.
When I saw Mike looking at the bikes, and I seen, you know, his excitement, of course, spouting off a lot of things that I didn't know, that kind of made me feel less anxious about getting rid of those. We thought about it, and I think that we could do that because we want someone to really appreciate these. We don't want them to sit in a garage.
Yep.
Yeah.
For another 20 years,
Right.
right?
Right. We want somebody to enjoy them as much
Appreciate
as
it.
my dad did.
All of these things represent something that none of us can buy, and that's time. But we're gonna get them running.
Thank you.
I know that he's going to do what's right for them and hopefully get them on the road and somebody enjoying them and doing what they were made to do.
It's like a day-to-day treasure hunt. I'm out there looking for rusty gold. I'm looking for the unusual and impossible.
It's back roads, it's dumpster diving, it's flea markets, it's people's homes.